Red-white midrange is an archetype that we've played at a lot of different points as Historic has changed, and this is a viewer-submitted variation that's leveraging a number of newer cards in the format. So we've got Dragon Rage Chandler here with an okay number of non-creature spells. Remember, Bone Crusher Giant being a instant or sorcery is nice for triggering this. This also triggers on just any non-creature spells, so it works with things like Chandras here also. And then we've got Esper Sentinel as well as Mind Stone as artifacts that help us enable the Delirium text on this in a really nice way. So as far as our mana base goes, one thing I might want to change here is we're on 26 lands in this build, it looks like. And it looks like we only have 6 utility lands. I'm gonna split these mountains with a couple of Den of the Bugbear. Wrong one. So let's get a couple more creature lands in here. Let's play some games and see how it goes. Full art basics. Too much clicking for cosmetics. Default. Basic lands when? Wizards of the Coast. The sub badges are new, BB. Yeah, we rolled out a new overlay and badges and everything today. All right. Ramp into Baneslayer Angel sounds lovely against turn 1 Stomping Ground Llanowar Elves here. Just gonna go ahead and drop it like it's hot on this. Still curve out just fine. Okay. If they have a cleave next turn, we're behind, but if they don't have cleave, Baneslayer is going to gum this board up very nicely. Lord of the Pearl Trident, thank you for the 2.5 years. Welcome back. So if I attack with Baneslayer and they don't have cleave, I block here, I take 5, but I gained 5. So I think that's a good exchange for me, because I want to try and end this game before cleave shows up, right? And if they have cleave, holding Baneslayer back isn't particularly good to begin with anyways. Alright, no cleave. Okay. And then I have 8 mana, so we actually have them dead next turn cycle, because this is 6, and then this emblem will do 1. Even if they hit cleave here, they're still dead next turn, right? It would be 10, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to 8. Good morning, Wiener. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Well, they technically don't know they're dead, right? They don't know about this Chandra. So, like, they're probably doing math, assuming they have 2 more turns here. Oh, they were trying to see if they could attack all because of the Den of the Bugbear. That's the math they were doing. That makes sense. You'll 6 mana deal 1. Alright, so Grawl. Clarion's probably decent. This might be okay. One thing to note, the way this sideboard is configured is our lack of abrades might be a bit of a mistake. We actually don't have a way to kill an Embercleave in our 75 is probably an oversight. I guess this is technically a way to kill an Embercleave, but like, is it really? Yeah, honestly, Darcy might not be great if we're bringing in Clarion. What if we did something like this? This might be too much top end. We have a lot of mana and ramp though. I don't hate this. Let's give this a try. Yeah, Chandra's like a sweeper. She is, but she's also like 6 mana. I think I'd be inclined to cut the Elspeth Conqueror's Death if I wanted to get rid of something out of the sideboard. Abrade is much better against Embercleave than Rip Apart, and we have things like Skyclave Apparition to deal with most enchantments in the format. Like, what enchantments are in the format that Skyclave Apparition misses that we care about? Yeah, Abrade is very good against food, is accurate. Yeah, Sigil is an earlier card. I downgrade their 2/2 into a 1/1. I guess it technically makes this a 2/2, but still. This is fine. I'm just not under any sort of real pressure here, so Bone Dad stabilizes the board. We're gonna get to curve. Baneslayer into Chandra here. Now they can cleave through Baneslayer this time. Honey. How are the older spawns this time?
Annoying.
They're
They were at school. Pulling away from me.
I was just leaning over so your face wasn't blocked by a microphone.
Oh.
Are we dead or not, right? And they don't even really have good attacks here. And then when this Chandra sweeps next turn, they actually won't be able to play Embercleave if they draw it off the top, which puts us into like a really good spot overall. So their attack here, they could like throw Questing Beast away to push 2 points of damage, which does not seem particularly good. We end up at 6 here.
Let's see the thing do the stuff.
You want to see the thing do the stuff?
Yeah. I gotta throw a bit at it.
You gotta throw a bit at it, yeah.
Let's start at a sizzle and see if you make it to the inferno. Get out of my way. Or, you know, don't.
It's probably the game. Or 5/5 Angels really getting to flex here in the Gruul matchup.
I don't have enough bits to tear on your channel.
Oh, I do have a bit minimum, that's true. Get wrecked.
Can you turn it off for a second?
No.
I don't have 50 bits.
Glad I could help
You'll
with your
survive.
not being on fire problem.
No reason to not attack there. They would have killed my Planeswalker. I didn't want them to kill my Planeswalker. Look at that.
Oh,
See, honey?
that's cool.
That's good. Thanks for the biddies, thanks.
You said thanks.
I understand where the annoying children get it from.
Chat loves me. Doesn't matter if you don't.
They were for Christy. Here's the dirty little secret, thanks. All the bits and subs are for Christy. Alright, let's take a look at the sideboard. Man, peak Twitch chat is correcting my sequencing when it actually didn't matter. And acknowledging that it didn't matter, but still correcting the sequencing. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Chuki.
Ooh, that looks cool too.
Let's take a peek at the sideboard and see if we need all of these Conqueror's Death. So in the control matchup, how am I sideboarding? I want to cut probably Skyclave Apparitions and maybe some Helix and some Baneslayer.
The sub icons look super cool in the chat.
They do look very crisp. So we have 4 Adanto and 2 Faithful Absence and an Inferno if I cut these Conqueror's Death. So it would be 7. So I could cut 4, 5, 6, this. And I might even want Rest in Peace in that matchup too. If they have Gear Hulk. See, I think I can give up these Conquer Death for a Braids. Maybe we leave 1 Conqueror's Death. Maybe I don't need 4 Clarions. Probably don't need 4 Clarions. Let's get rid of 1 Clarion and a Conqueror's Death. Let's put 2 Braids in.
The Hooglandia Kool-Aid. Wait, what's this one?
Those are double shovels before
No,
you
what's
get your...
the second one?
This one?
No, the second.
The bit badge.
Oh, you need a new bit.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna redo the bit badges.
Sub-icon story.
The sub-icon story is the same tale we've always told. You start off with the shovel working in the fields, and then you get the training swords into your Knight Shield. We're just skipping over the horses and going straight to the castle. Or there were horses after the shield. Now you just get a castle in 2 years and 3 years. And then there's a goblet, a throne, and then eventually your own Jester Cap like this. Actually, my channel hasn't been partnered for 7 years yet, so I don't even have the highest sub badge yet. If you look in the subs Discord server and the announcement channel, I posted all the badges there. They go up through 7.5 years. Yeah, this is fine. We'll bottom the land, keep 4 mana sources, two spells.
I think you mean horses. You said houses twice. I like that here. Here fixes houses.
Drawing a 4-drop here is great. This one.
Throne. What is that? 5 years?
Well, that's rude. This unfortunately takes a mana to sacrifice, so he's gotta go through. Yeah, we had to get rid of the horses because we ran out of dewormer, chat. Couldn't supply the horses anymore. It just became too difficult to access the medicine they needed. Activate him a trap card here. Get to kill this and then eat the Soul Warden. Sorry, Christy asked me to mute the microphone there for a second so she could trash talk you all. I would repeat what she said, but it was too vulgar for Twitch. Able to say you did the badges for me. Yeah, S tier, my new management agency that I've been working with for the last few months. Free did everything. They did the overlays, they did the badges.
Well,
They
that
did
was
excellent work is what they did. No collected company on 4 is real good beats for us. I think I'm just skyclaving their flyer here. Yeah, it's funny, Silas. One of my buddies that plays Unite with us in the evenings, Admin, if he's here, he almost always apologizes when he swears while I'm recording. I'm just like, look, you're never gonna be more vulgar than I am while we're playing, so just don't worry about it. Trust me, I will have the most swears this session. Ooh, I believe we have died, chat. And, hit our land drops a bit sooner there. Okay, so Faithful Absence and Conqueror's Death. So far, these two have seemed really well-made. I guess we haven't played a control matchup yet, though. Do I want a Braid? Yeah, they have Redain in their deck, which probably means a Braid is good. Yeah, exactly, Steve. We got to make sure we drop a couple of extra swears during the Pokemon content so I can flag it not for children on YouTube. We don't want kids accidentally stumbling into my highlight channel and thinking it's for them. And for reference, if your channel has content on YouTube that's appropriate for kids, it basically can't be monetized. So I'll fetch planes on one here. So we definitely want to use something like Stomp or Braid on Thalia, and we want to save Skyclave Apparition for things that have like that 4th point of toughness, like Righteous Valkyrie. So want to use our red removal while the using is good, basically.
This was a waste.
I mean, Conqueror's Death is just a good interactive Magic card that also generates a little bit of value after the fact. Like, I think if this deck wanted Spellbinder, I don't want them in the sideboard. So, like, my previous iterations of this deck have always played Spellbinder in the main deck. And this build is essentially choosing to play Darcy and Esper Sentinel in like what the Spellbinder slots would be in the past. And I'm not sure that I love that decision. We're gonna play some games with it, try and get a feel for it. But it's definitely really bad in all these creature matchups, for example. So hopefully we can hit like a Jeskai Control or Grixis or something to see if Darcy and Esper Sentinel feel there. In my experience with Esper Sentinel in this format so far, I've found the decks that can't put more power on Esper Sentinel for it to feel pretty lacking. Well, card draw gives you more consistent mana, Marty, would be my comment in response to that. Well, so there's varying degrees of consistent mana, right? So you ensure that whatever color is having your card draw and selection is your more common color that you're more likely to have. So whatever is enabling your fixing, you play more of. It's kind of weird, and like I actually don't think I think that's actually kind of a bad question, like what's more important, card draw or consistent mana? You're like asking yourself, do you want one of those as a game mechanic, another is a card effect, if that makes sense? Could have a company here.
Play with fire, huh? This'll be easy.
So I'm gonna have to chump block with Skyclave if I don't want Chandra to die. Or she's just dead anyways. Yikes. I was just about to say, this 5-mana Stomp doesn't look great. Hey, look, chat, they finally rebalanced Bone Crusher Giant. I don't know why they didn't do this while it wasn't standard. They had to wait till it rotated to balance it properly. Ugh. Glorybringer off the top, please. Okay. Okay. Our opponent's looking a little clueless over there, so I'm gonna help him out. You say Ancestral Recall being limited to blue like it's a bad thing. You could make the argument instead that because it's limited to blue, it forces you to play the correct colors. Is it limited to blue? Or is it just forcing you to make decisions you should be making anyways?
Stay back.
Yes, yeah, it's like the Luris restriction is exactly right. It's like, it's a restriction, but it's also just like telling you, hey, if Ancestral Recall is legal, you should play Recall. Holy shit, we're dead. Actually dead.
You got it.
Yep. Well, fateful absence not being Deccanstone lost us the game there. If that removal spell had been Deccanstone, we win that game and it's not close. We would have gotten rid of both of their things. Absence has the upside of being playable against things like Hero of Dominaria, but real big downside in the creature matchups there on occasion. They did turn out excellent, Panda Ninja. It is a shiny new shield. An even shinier one at 18 months now. About half an hour, Cans, right? Sweet. We're playing against a spells deck. So, excited to see if Esper Sentinel feels good here or not. If the Esper Sentinel feels crappy, we're probably gonna cut it after this. And honestly, this is one of the downsides of playing cards like Dragon Rage Chandler, is like, we just turn on these removal spells, otherwise wouldn't be great against us. Speaking of turning on spells that otherwise would be less good against us. Now, the cute thing about Skyclave Apparition is that when we Skyclave this Dragon Rage Chandler, because it was our Chandler, we'll get the token when they kill the Skyclave eventually. Thanks for the follow, Mighty Tour. So we've got that going for us. Morning, bonus Bucky. With the Chandra drawn, do I use that to kill it instead? Probably, because then Skyclave can exile a Phoenix later.
I know. I am hot, aren't I? See ya.
They could be a Phoenix deck. They could also just be like blue-red mid-range. We played a blue-red mid-range before Memory Lapse was banned that felt pretty good. It's one of the decks I want to get back around to. I feel like looting probably implies Phoenix. We haven't actually seen threats yet.
I am out of here.
Fern Phoenix. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Giant dragons blowing through ya. Do 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 beep 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 do do. Todd Turkey is someone who plays in the Open. They are our first and currently our only two-time Open winner. They've won 2 historic Opens with Girl Aggro. I mean, it's Unholy Heat number 4, but they're also like through half their deck, right? Hey, Katana. Thank you for the 27 months. Welcome back. Kanata, not Katana. Kanata, you've been here for 27 months. All right, we did, fam. This is yet another matchup where I wish Fateful Absence was, a Deccan Stone. Thanks for the follow, ACG. Listen, Azintoth, you should just change your name to how I say it. It'll make all of us happier. This card seems good here. Darcy just really does not seem good. Breeds for their Darcy seem fine. Do I want Clarions to clear out the board? Like, using this to kill a Phoenix after it hit us really just does not sound exciting. Isn't Swords to Plowshares in Historic? It is not. So a number of the Historic anthologies, or the Strixhaven archive cards were banned at release. Oh man. Punished for playing my land out, huh? Because now if I draw a red source next turn, I can't play Chandra. Should have played the Sacred Foundry, I guess. Should have waited to make my land drop until after I attacked is what I should have done. It's fine. Didn't hit it anyways. You know, honestly, I need my red mana enough. I'm gonna cantrip one of these. "28, 26 lands later, the Jeff Hoagland story. Yes, only 26. Yeah, a Braid being able to kill Embercleave before you take a hit from Embercleave has a lot of value. There also aren't that many enchantments in the format, Jake Gravy, that Skyclave Apparition doesn't hit. Instant speed deal 3 is much better against aggro in general as well. There's a lot of creature lands in the format. Kills Den of the Bugbear, Hive of the Eye Tyrant, Faceless Haven, etc. The kind of awkward part about this particular matchup is I'm actually not certain that we're favored as this game goes along. Like, they have Ox of Agnos, and they have Ox of Agnes, and they have a bunch of Phoenixes they could draw into that, like, kind of give them a lot of sustain / grind power. They are live, Penguin. Good morning. Really want like a Lyra or Goldspan Dragon. Conqueror's Death actually looked pretty good here. Yeah, I wanted something relatively minimalist. I like having the crest in the corner constantly. Kind of like a content branding thing. Well, I mean, it's weird. Expressive Iteration and Growth Spiral aren't really comparable. So Growth Spiral is a cantrip, whereas Expressive Iteration is actual factual card advantage. Let's see. Those two cards are kind of different on a fundamental level. Our opponent is considering killing us with a 4/4. Unfortunately, the Smoldering Egg retains its 2 CMC when it flips over to Ashmouth, so Conqueror's Death still can't kill it. The Auto Tapper did put us off a Helix here, but that doesn't really matter. Canadian Bacon. Todd Turkey is relatively active in the subs Discord server. I bet if you tagged them in the historic channel there, they'd post it up. They might be in chat after the match is done too. But their name in the Discord server is Todd Turkey, I believe, as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Speaking of the Discord server, I'm gonna really confuse people. And I have updated the Discord server icon to be the H logo. So those of you that are a part of there know that that's us when you look at your server list and see it's not the Crown anymore. Yeah, their arena could crash. Maybe they're playing on mobile. Maybe their boss walked in at work. Is it like having a boss that isn't my wife? I have a boss that isn't my wife? You mean Twitch chat? Twitch chat's loosely my boss. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, I guess it's kind of fortunate for us because I don't think we were winning that. Riptot indeed. All right. I think I'm over Esper Sentinel and Darcy in this deck. I think I'm over it. I think I want Vanguard and Elite Spellbinder. Yeah, I think I want to pull the curve up and be a little bit bigger. And then as far as sideboard stuff goes, I actually think Conqueror's Death seems kind of appealing. I like the idea. Get that second one back in there. And I think I want a little bit more Graveyard Hate. That Phoenix matchup seemed really bad. I don't know that I want more than 2 Rest in Peace, but I think some Soul Guide Lanterns sound good. Soul Guide Lantern's a card we don't mind bringing in against control as well. Because again, we do want at least 4 cards, probably a little bit more to bring in against control. It's like if I have 2 Absents, 2 Soul Guide Lanterns, 2 of those, 6, this is 7. And then honestly, we could put the Clarion back in as the last card, I think. Is Redeem not a playable card in Historic? It's okay. It's not nearly as good as it is in Standard. Johnny the Bish, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I think I want Absence so I can board it in against Hero of Dominaria, Marty. I think it obviously bit us in that game against the aggro deck, but I think that slot is more so for that. It's pretty important that a lot of our later lands come into play untapped because our curve is kind of high, so I don't really want to play a bunch of tapped lands. We have creature lands and fast lands we want to get into play early. Shamans, chat. Happy to have our extra Clarion. Oh no, not Shamans, just Gruul. Just Gruul. I think we do this into this on the Spellbreaker. And then we could trade these here and play Chandra next turn. Nah, I think they're just Gruul aggro, playing this as a 2/2 accelerant. Seems likely. Mindstone's definitely a banger in this deck. I like it a lot. We do the wave. We do the flame wave. Do 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 do. Right. That was not a Spellbreaker, so we're probably into garbage time. Ooh, they're like a really big version of Gruul, huh? Tracker, Chandra, Glory. Okay, so Absence sounds great here. I don't know if something like Clarion is good. A Breed seems fine. It's probably like an Adanto Vanguard out matchup. If they're bigger, Conqueror's Death might be good for a little bit of grind. Yeah, it is kind of like a pseudo mirror. Definitely agree with that assessment. That a lot of stuff that dies to Clarion. I guess that's true. Both of these, and then Giant, and then that. Maybe we pull out the Apparitions, and we put some Clarions in. That's such a good emote, isn't it? Let's draw some lands around the draw. Roiling Vortex. All right, it's a little punished for not. Oh my gosh, I misclicked, chat. And by misclicked, I mean I forgot that I needed to stomp before that came into play. So they should be 2 lower. When we lose this game with them at 2, it's my fault. Man, chat, being on the play is busted.
I knew you needed my help. Oh, that's nasty.
I concede when we miss our land drop here. Gosh, we drew the land, so we have to keep playing. Brutal. I think we're just killing this. The land drop there is like this land's probably not good enough for me to win the game, but it's like just good enough that I need to keep playing.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
Yeah, untapped land here is an incredible draw. Could put us back in it. Yeah, they haven't done the bugbear here, so we're just dead. I need to do this, and then the other thing here kills us.
I know I'm on track.
Do I want Skyclave for their enchantment? I don't think so. I think on the play especially, we should be in a pretty reasonable spot. A lot of the reason why their enchantment was good there was because they had the tempo of being on the play. They will not have that for this game. Their deck has a lot of expensive friends in it, so let's step on the elf for sure. Thanks, Brad. I think I'm pretty happy with the crowns, Bob.
I know.
I think we're gonna redo the lower bit badges below the crowns, but I feel like the crowns are kind of iconic. And I think they look pretty reasonable. I'm gonna hold this back in the event of like questing beast or something here. Chandra could just get stepped on. Yeah, the new alerts in the corner too are less in the way of actual game content too when they pop up, which is nice.
Yup, you're going down.
Yeah, I'm okay with playing this out. Kind of gives us a redraw rate. What you working with? They did have the questing beast I played around. Look at that. Attack with this now.
my turn.
Yeah, I assume that really defensive block there is because they need to keep their life total high because of Roiling Vortex, which is, again, why I wasn't really worried about Vortex in these post-board games.
This is gonna hurt. Let's make this
We
quick.
get to do this to you. Ink Moth, or Blink Moth kills this. You take 3. Now they're taking 2 per turn.
Guess you don't need me.
I definitely think this shouldn't be in their deck when they're on the draw.
Hey, over here. Oh, today's my lucky day. This'll be easy.
Yeah, I'll do 1 more damage to gain 3. I can't lethal this turn, right? Oh, we could? Question mark, maybe? I think we were 1 short. Thanks for the follow, Wolves. Yeah, it takes 5 to activate the Dragonland. So I could have I was short a mana of activating the Dragonland. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Bone Crusher Giants card advantage. I think we keep against Luris. I'm gonna keep double removal spell. We'll bottom the Adonto and the Mind Stone here. Yeah, Boros control, Boros mid-range, whatever you want to call it. My favorite thing after getting mulligan to 5 is, after mulliganing to 5 is getting Thoughtseize, chat. It just feels so good. Auras. Hey, thanks for the brand new Prime Wolves. That's very generous of you. You can send that to someone on Twitch every month. Thanks for sending it this way this month. Yikes. Alright, well. We'll start there. Alright, if they break off here for a little bit, Den of the Bugbear gets to fire up next turn. Thanks for the third of a year, Canned Monkey. Welcome back. We needed them to brick on land for 1 more turn. Hollow Blade and Vanguard do very different things. So Vanguard in my deck is kind of a hedge against aggro, or hedge against control game 1. Take 1 draw at Skyclave Apparition before we concede here. Probably dead though. Yeah. Needed the opponent to brick for a turn or 2 and they popped off. That's how Magic works sometimes. Oh, even Skyclave wouldn't have done it, right? Because Ghost Form stops that. Okay, so this is an all Doomblades on deck matchup. Only a Rest in Peace matchup, a Braid. Is this a Clarion matchup? I actually think this one's a Clarion. I think I want all the spot removal, but sweepers are not great because I do need to actually have creatures in play to pressure them with a little bit. Spellbinder and Glorybringer ending the game. Bone Crusher occasionally too. Just want to be able to kill all of their Cerams and Cores on site. The key to their deck is being able to get one of their 2 drops down and have it survive, so it can draw a bunch of cards while they cast enchantments. Yeah, the red removal has a very narrow window where it's useful. And 3 mana red removal is especially slow. Okay. Hand's pretty good. Opponent's turn to mulligan to 5. We technically have 4 removal spells in our hand. The Shaman's deck is very real. I will not be surprised if Shaman's has a good performance in whatever the first historic tournament is. Haven't been any historic events for a little bit. I think are the upcoming qualifier events historic, if I recall correctly? Ah, the good old Thoughtseize bug. Yeah, Zan's been trying to shove Pyre into everything. I'm not sure that Historic is slow enough and fair enough for that card to be reasonable. Oh, is the Red Bull this weekend Historic? I didn't know that. That's great. We get some really solid data metrics out of that. It's really sad that we don't get any useful metrics out of the qualifier weekends.
Yup, you're going down.
Wizards really seems to have failed to grasp that players really like having deck lists posted with their username next to them. And the fact that we don't just get, like, all of the top performing lists from the qualifier weekends posted, like, every deck list that makes day 2 and then every deck list that qualifies should all be posted on magic.gg after the event weekend is done. It's one of the things that Magic Online does really well. They have relatively decent transparency with their large events on the weekends, as well as their leagues that happen regularly. The worst part about playing against Thoughtseize chat, they get to look when you keep a sketchy hand. Nailed it. Nailed it. A true skill game. MTGA Zone checks the ones posted on Twitter. Sure. But the ones on Twitter, like... yeah. I mean, anybody can lie and post their deck on Twitter, right? Sorry, chat, it's 2021. I've been hurt and I'm super jaded, but like, yeah, anybody can lie and post their shit on Twitter and say it's the deck they played in the tournament. So, something that I think is a good lesson, this is something I repeat fairly frequently, is unbiased data really doesn't exist, chat. The key to understanding data is looking at the data and asking yourself, what biases does this data contain, and then parsing it through the appropriate lens based on what biases are contained in the information. Someone would just go on the internet and lie? This is unbelievable. Untapped land, please. Untapped land, please. Wait, so if I skyclave this, it doesn't have anything left on it, right? Is that how this works? So if I skyclave, it just has nothing? So if I apparition and then downtick, it's gone? Cool. All right. Do we downtick or do we uptick? Yeah, I kind of like uptick Helix, right?
Today's my lucky day.
Morning, zombie.
Yup, you're going down. I'm Chandra.
Think we just do this.
I've got a burning desire to finish you.
Hey, the gals are all here. All right, sweet. Chandra all puts it away. Good stuff. Maybe Beard Hug. Someone else asked about that, but it's honestly just, it's like another 5 minutes to my day trying to upload deck lists to places again as well, so. I don't know that I want to add another half hour of time to my week posting deck list pages. It's really quick to just export and paste a deck list in there. Part of the reason I didn't do edited stuff for a long time was the time commitment involved in it. I'm trying to stay as minimal as I can with the amount of time I'm putting into there until it shows that it's worthwhile to invest more. Hey, morning, Swearwolves. I am primarily a best of 3 player. Essentially, you'll only see best of 1 on this stream when a format doesn't offer best of 3 that I want to play, like Historic Brawl, or more recently we had played the standard 22Q. The parts of best of 1 lacks some of the parts of Magic that I enjoy the most, which are sideboarding. I think is one of the more interesting things Magic has to offer as a game, and then making informed mulliganing decisions is huge. Even just sideboarding aside, getting to make mulligans knowing what you're playing against is such a skill-intensive process that makes the games more interesting. One of the worst feelings in Magic is like keeping a hand and being like, well, this is good against control, and then they're playing aggro or vice versa. I'm just like, okay, we're dead because I clicked keep because I didn't know. Gross. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick with this one until about 12:30 patches. I imagine there's village rights in the future for my Adanto here. Thanks for the brand new sub, Zippy Goose. Really appreciate the support. Good morning, good morning. Okay, not village rights, but village rights adjacent. We've got a little bit of clunk in the trunk this game, champ. If we can run off some lands here, our hand's very good. My body is ready for, like, running tapped lands here. Best of 3 in Magic has a timer. It's just incredibly long. Each player gets 30 minutes, and their 30 minutes doesn't count against them while they're sideboarding. They might as well. It's long enough that it might as well not exist. Feels bad, man. Probably have one more turn to hit Lyra. Listen, chat. Nassif is an expert at managing his clock down to the actual wire. He frequently ends up very low, but he doesn't actually time out that often. And Nassif is someone who has played thousands of matches of paper sanctioned Magic where you have 50 minutes shared between both players. And I've rambled about this before on stream, but honestly, that's the most offensive part about the arena timer in my mind, is the fact that in paper Magic, you get less time than you get on arena. Like, if paper boomers have to play a match in 50 minutes, like, on digital where you don't have to shuffle, like, you should be able to do it in less than that. Alright, I think it's, thoughts to use both our spells here, and we just can't get through at this point. It's definitely a Rest in Peace Soul Guide Lantern matchup. Adanto Vanguard out. Honestly, probably Spellbinder out too here. I think it's just like an all Doom Blades and Sweepers on deck. Maybe not Fateful Absence. Yes, I agree. That's exactly what it feels like, Elenox. It felt like somebody picked kind of an arbitrarily large number for the clock on Magic Arena to start, and then, like, they never dialed it back appropriately after looking at the metrics. I think Bone Crusher Giant is reasonable as reach, as well as something that can attack and block. And killing Lurrus is pretty important. So I think there's a lot of reason to keep this. It's very possible we want more than 26 lands in this deck, honestly. Like 27 or 28 with another creature land or another Shatter Skull Smashing could be a reasonable thing to be doing. It's pretty important that we curve out. I guess we have Mind Stone is technically like... Technically have 30 mana sources. Thoughtseize is why I played this out proactively. I didn't want to lose it to a discard spell. And honestly, even if they don't play something that we can stomp here, I'm probably just going to step on their face and then play Bone Crusher. Unless they give us something like Arcanist here, in which case we'll probably play Skyclave next turn. I mean, are we sideboarding up on curve? I have 2 Conqueror's Death in the sidebar, but that's not really pulling up. My deck already has a bunch of 5s and 6s in the main deck. And like, again, we have 30 mana sources. 50% of our deck is mana. Oh, you know what? Our deck doesn't really use its graveyard, right? Should this be Relic of Progenitus? I kind of forgot that card was legal. This should totally be Relic, right? Yeah, usually your decks in this format are playing some amount of graveyard themselves, so like you don't want to be exiling your own graveyard, but our deck's not, right? Hey, thanks for the 3.5 years, Isabus. Welcome back. Not only does... Yeah, we took out the Dragon Rage Shantley. I'm just going to concede here and put the right card in my sideboard. Our hand's super clunky here again. Yeah, so you get the corner case of exiling their graveyard without holding mana up, but Relic also gets to just pressure their graveyard constantly until you sacrifice it. And when you sack it, you exile their graveyard and draw a card, whereas Soul Guide makes you choose between the two, right? Yeah, that's fine. Conqueror's Death isn't even in our main deck. Why not Rip? Well, I have 2 Rest in Peace, so I just, you know what? You've been here 3 months. General rule, if you ask me why I'm not playing a card that I am playing, I'm just going to give you a 10-minute break so you can look at the deck list. Now, to give nuance that you didn't ask for, I'm playing a split of Rest in Peace and Relic of Progenitus because drawing multiple pieces of Graveyard Hate can often be clunky and awkward. So by having some of my Graveyard Hate be Graveyard Hate that can cantrip, it has value in the split. That is why I'm playing a split of the 2. But we are playing 2 Rest in Peace. It is very powerful against decks like the one we were just playing against. I really don't understand why when this comes up where it's gonna be a draw, it shows me the match screen at all. Like, I understand there's something on their back end that's causing this to happen and maybe they don't want to fix it or address it, but like, just leave me in the queue. Like, if you know it's whatever is happening is going to be a draw, instead of displaying this draw screen, just don't pull me out of the queue. The hamster had to, they were thinking about starting a match, and the hamster's like, nah, this is my 15-minute break time. It's cute that Jeff thinks they know what causes. That's actually probably the truth. It probably is just unknown what's causing it to happen. That's probably the reality in which we live. Psycho Man, thanks for the brand new sub. Welcome to the channel. Good morning, good morning. Well, that's an interesting draw. So I think with this draw, I just want to get banging next turn, right? So we'll do this, tap land, and then set up for dragons. Yeah, that'd be dragons. Timeouts do not stack. Morrow's Charm resolves. Charm resolves. I guess they could theoretically hit Delirium here, huh? They hit a creature? That would be bad for us. I'm less interested in double. Feeling a little delirious, chat. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Giant dragons blowing through ya. Do you have a third piece of removal? You do. That's fine, though. Means unholy heat is not killing my dragon. God bless America, my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of the icing. I can't stand the heat, chat. I would like to get out of the kitchen. It's getting hot in here. So hot. I would like to play a 3-1. Their hand's a little madness, chat.
I'm the best fire starter there is.
My friend started playing Magic recently and he thought it was actually called Glory Beggar because of how often I say it. Hey, Jub. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Yeah, the rebranding stuff turned out great.
It's over when I say it's over.
The fourth unholy heat is the charm, as they say. Dead in the air next turn. Stuff, good stuff. Is rest in peace good enough here? It probably is, right? Downgrades enough for their stuff. Clarion's definitely great. Adonto is not. I think this trading with Darcy probably means it's good enough. Torch of Defiance is a little bit awkward. She often just like kills something and then like gains 2 life. I think this is fine because it sweeps up nicely. Do I want a braid? A braid might be better than these. You want Relic over Rip here? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I like that suggestion. Yeah, it's very difficult to get management to understand that technical debt needs to be addressed. And I was very silly and naive and thought when Wizards decided to remake Magic Online from the ground up in Magic Arena, I just assumed they just wouldn't let themselves get behind and buried in technical debt for a second time in a row. And boy, golly, was I wrong, chat. As someone who can admit when they were wrong, they just stacked that debt right back on up. I'm gonna kill this now before they can get delirious here. Yep. So Bone Crusher's gone, but that was still a 2-for-1, so I'll take it. You define technical debt. Technical debt is a term that refers to when stuff is kind of broken and messy in your code, and it gets more broken and messy over time, and it kind of compounds on itself. The boy Blake, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the channel. For people that are newer to the channel, before I was a full-time meme here on Twitch in a former life, I contributed to a number of smaller open source projects, but also worked doing process automation at a Fortune 50 company. So I'm relatively familiar with bureaucracy and the way code kind of piles up with different things that I inherited at various points during my time spent there after grad school. Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Butters. Zach-a-lanch, thanks for coming in for the 22nd. Probably done here. You have an unholy heat. Life gain is cheating. Always an unholy heat, yep. Hey, big giant dragon, I choose you. Hey, thanks, Zero Gamer. A PM at a large company, we have loads of technical debt from hot fixes and workarounds that do the job. Then we never get the budget to go back and sort it out, and things get messy because we didn't. Yeah. As a quick and dirty example of technical debt, anybody who's dug into a large code project at some point in their lives has probably found a comment that's something along the lines of, this does what we want it to do, but not quite sure why. We'll figure out later, leave alone for now. And then, like, you find that comment months or even years later, and you're just like, well, and then something breaks, and it's like, huh, is it the thing that we weren't sure why it works that broke, or is it something different? Kokoyobo, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. The half-year sub badges are the gold ones. So the like 1 year and 1.5 year sub badges are the same picture, but they're blue and silver. What's the old saying? 6 months ago, only 2 people knew how this code worked, myself and God, and now only God knows. That's what I had to reinstall. I have a number of small Python and Qt tools that I use for different stuff on my stream to help me manage stuff. And I reinstalled Windows and I was trying to set them back up again. And I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out what the dependencies were for my custom tools. And then I finally realized that I put a comment at the top of the file telling me what the dependencies were. I had just assumed that Past Jeff wasn't going to leave a comment. Because usually he doesn't. I think we just stomp this now so it can't grow out of range later. Yeah, Bass Jeff is decent sometimes. I take back some of the bad things I've said about him. Only some of them, though, chat. He deserved a lot of it. Alright, so do we Mind Stone Vanguard next turn, or do we just Bone Crusher? I think we get the acceleration going. Don't put a third Phoenix in the bin. Have a heart. Hey Mar, welcome back. Thanks for the almost 2.5 years. Yeah, I think we gotta just let this die. We're taking 6 instead of combat here. This matchup seems very difficult. We do have 4 pieces of Graveyard Hate in our sideboard, post board now though, which is nice. So we'll get to kill both of these Phoenix inside of combat and gain 3 here, and then we'll get to play double Giant next turn, and maybe have a chance to race. They are at 20 though. I built a tool for a client, they sat on it for 10 weeks, and then finally came back asking for some modifications. And I thought to myself, someone else might as well have written this. Mood.
You wanna go, tough guy?
10 weeks is an eternity.
If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
And I assume it's going to be trivial for them to flip us the bird here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to the post-board game here. I don't think we're really competitive game 1 in this matchup. Post-board with some Conqueror's Deaths and some Rest in Pieces. Maybe we have a shot. Chandra is super awkward. The Angels and the Dragons are actually pretty good here. Maybe clear the Spellbinders. Play a couple of Clarions to reset Phoenixes on occasion. So I think Vanguard's actually kind of okay here because we do need to be able to kill them. And I know it doesn't feel like it, but they're not going to have double Phoenix every game. And the games where they don't have double Phoenix will be able to afford to pay some life to keep Vanguard alive so it can actually close for us. Hopefully, if they have double Phoenix this game, we'll have a Ripper or a Relic for it. So Jeff guaranteed triple Phoenix this game? Yeah, basically. Shiny new sub notifications too in the 3-year one. It looks so sweet watching them roll through. Turned out great. I like how the circle builds up around it as well. Did a killer job. Thanks for the 36 months, Serpio. Hurried. Thanks for the 1.5 years, Ryan. Welcome back. That's true. It could have been a memory lapse. I can remember which spell I cast that got countered. we just Skyclave here? I could shock and do this, but... Nice. I feel like I'd be surprised if they have a sweeper in against us post board. Some of these decks do have like anger or sweltering. OGN, thanks for the follow. But dual land, I hate to sit across from. No, I don't think so. Probably blue-red duels in standard at the moment. Historic feels relatively balanced. Maybe lands that indicate Jund food in historic, but that deck actually hasn't even been that popular on the ladder because it's kind of tedious to play. This game here kind of showing why I like the Adanto Vanguards, right? Like they have so many cards, we need to win this game by just killing them. Our deck really can't go long and grind in a matchup like this, I don't think. Oh my gosh, are they about to ditch 2 Phoenixes? Oh my god, why do they always have 2 Phoenixes, chat? So I kind of wanted an untapped land, but I was thinking I wanted an untapped land, but I wasn't thinking I wanted a red-white untapped land. This Blink Moth's just railing us. They saw Hoagland, so they cashed into cumulative variance, right? I'm not, dude. What you need? You're hungry, then eat something.
I want a sandwich, but mommy is on phone call.
Oh, mommy's on a phone call? You should have asked her for it earlier, dude.
I did, and now I want
You are
another one.
6 years old. I promise you can wait 10 minutes until she's off her call.
She's calling Miss Amy, and she calls Miss Amy for like 20
Oh, if she's not on a work call, you should just ask her while she's on the phone.
I already did, and she said, no, 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 no.
All right, I will ping your mother. It is tough as a 6-year-old. Chat. Listen, waiting. I mean, in his defense, he's not wrong. She'll probably be on the phone with Amy for an hour. But I'd also wager she can finagle making a cheese sandwich while she's on the phone. My body is ready for the Skyclave to die and for them to have a 4/4. Alright, down to 6. Dead to third Phoenix out of hand, so naturally about to die. That's actually exactly Declan too, and he calls them cheese tacos, Coder. Just cheese on a tortilla. Refuses for it to be hot. We could have attacked all there and popped. No, I wanna hold the relic activation in case they put a Phoenix into the graveyard with like a later Faithless Looting here. I don't think pushing the 2 extra damage really mattered there. So like, if they flash back this looting and hit a Phoenix, I cannot die. Should be ideal. I am going to cantrip this relic at end of turn because I would like to hit a piece of removal next turn to try and push lethal. They have a removal spell here. That would not be great for us. I'm trying to think like what kind of spells they could have in their hand here that mean I don't die. Actually, the 15 months Cobra Commander. We got spell pierced earlier this match. I think we go for this though. Testatilans, sure. Alright, am I dead? Hit me, dealer. Only have 1 card type in here. Oh, no. Confirmed dead, fam. Confirmed dead. That'll do, pig. You actually can't kill yourself with Vanguard if you're not at a multiple of 4. You can't pay life you don't have. So we're at 6, not 8. Marty with the sub gift. Thank you. Thanks, Marty. Hey, thanks for the 16 months. Intense. Welcome back. Kind of surprised they took my giant instead of my Skyclave apparition. Because I would have got a 3/3 if they took my Skyclave. A little bit of a brutal play. Thanks for the follow buff. I was just thinking it's kind of sad we haven't drawn any utility lands yet. So, I think we Helix this and then Crunch. Still at a nice healthy 23 here. If they pass without playing a spell next turn, this turns into a 3/3 first strike. Historic's in a reasonable spot post memory lapse ban. It did what I wanted it to do, in that it pulled down the power level of the Jeskai deck enough that it's given other things some room to breathe, which is nice. Just want a lot of my cheap removal. This is probably a Clarion matchup, huh? And if we just try and go bigger here. Think I'm into it. Is Historic going to stay in its current shape for long? What are the winning lottery numbers this week? Or more pointedly, I don't know. I can't predict the future. We don't know what they have planned. When's the next open? Not about. November 14th. Sunday, November 14th. That is release weekend for Crimson Vow. And as for the format of the next open, the first week of November, I will be sending out my monthly subscriber survey. And you Twitch subs will be getting to vote on which format you would like to see play or play in, depending on what your prerogative is surrounding the open. So you have to vote between standard or historic. That was the wrong land to tap, and that's why it was the wrong land to tap, chap. God bless America. That's frustrating. As soon as I let the auto tapper do it, I was like, nope, that's not what I want. Sorry, chat. I was actually making a 5-head play, playing around Skyclave Apparition, and we knew our opponent was likely to have Skyclave Apparition because they were holding a handful of spells with nothing else to do. This is a calmly calculated Chandra play.
I knew you needed my help. Now you're playing with fire.
They have another Amaria's call here. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I haven't played a land yet, so we'll drop Plains here. I'll go ahead and braid that. Flexibility on something like a braid is just so good. Very nice card. So, thinking it like running collected companies here, but outside of that, this game's pretty over.
Lucky day. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Alright, it's like pausing to give them priority. I'm just gonna pass here. This could be a company. Thanks for the follow, Jefferson. This is company number 1. This is the start of a potential comeback. I think Angel plus Helix plus Chandra means even if they hit like 3 good companies in a row here, we're still ahead. Okay. Their deck is trying its darndest, chat. They get to Hepshet Oasis here. Push some damage. So I think we trade tokens, and then we'll Chandra kill their Lumiarch.
Whatever.
And then they're out of resources. Nice. Okay, so now we Chandra. Plus for mana,
I know.
Bone Daddy.
Aren't I?
Play Bone Daddy. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Giant dragons blowing through ya. Do 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 do. You know, I was wondering if that Stinger transition was a little bit too long, but with how long we have to wait for server when we end the match of Magic anyways, we have plenty of time to enjoy an elegant Stinger transition before we get a chance to pull it up. I think I'm pretty happy with where this ended up at. I definitely think moving away from the 1-mana creatures is ideal. The Esper Sentinel just continues to feel mediocre to me in decks that don't give it extra attack, because it's just so easy past like turn 3 for people to just pay an extra mana on their first non-creature spell each turn, and at that point it's just like, well, you just have a 1-mana 1/1, and this deck doesn't have a lot of cheap spells to enable Darcy. While we did have plenty of artifacts to like hit Delirium, we weren't really leveraging the upside of its Surveil, providing card selection for us. I don't think it's just artifact synergies. I think decks that can play it with the card that puts a counter on something at the beginning of every combat step, or Thalia's Lieutenant, it's pretty reasonable in both of those. I think Artifact Synergies is another decent way to leverage it. I think it's very good in like Tempered Steel style decks. But yeah. So I think I like the bigger build on this overall. The Mind Stones felt pretty reasonable considering we had a little bit more clunk in the trunk. Is there a chance we want Seasoned Pyromancer in here? Yeah, maybe. I could see that being okay. Maybe that's worth trying in the Spellbinder slot, I could see. Yeah, Esper Sentinel also has a lot of value when you're combining her with other taxing effects like Thalia is a good shout as well. All right. Let's get the Pokemons loaded up, huh? For people that missed the Stinger, if you wanted to see it, here it is again. Where is it? Where's my scene? There it is. Some Pokemons. Don't ask me why it's called a Stinger transition. I don't know, but that's what it's called. We're gonna play some Charizard today, I think, to start. We got a 5-stack lined up.